A great wall. The story of the Wall of Jericho is one of the most dramatic and memorable accounts in the Bible found in the book of Joshua, and it has echoed through history as a symbol of faith, obedience, and divine power. Jericho itself was one of the oldest cities in the world, a fortified oasis city located near the Jordan River, surrounded by strong walls that seemed impossible to breach. After the Israelites had wandered in the wilderness for 40 years, they finally stood at the edge of the Promised Land, and Jericho was the first great obstacle in their path. Joshua, the new leader after Moses, received instructions from God that were unlike any military strategy ever known. Instead of battering rams' ladders or siege towers, the Israelites were told to march around the city once a day for 6 days, with priests carrying trumpets made of rams, horns, and the Ark of the Covenant at the center of the procession. The people were commanded to remain silent during these marches, speaking no word, making no shout, only the sound of the trumpets breaking the stillness. Imagine the tension inside the city as the inhabitants of Jericho watched this strange ritual unfold day after day. On the 7th day, the instructions changed. The Israelites were to march around the city not once but 7 times, and at the end of the 7th circuit the priests were to blow the trumpets and the people were to shout with a great shout. Joshua assured them that at that moment the Lord would deliver the city into their hands, and so it happened. On the 7th day, after the 7th march, the trumpets sounded, the people shouted, and the mighty walls of Jericho collapsed, falling flat so that the Israelites could charge straight in and take the city. This was not the result of human strength or clever engineering, but a demonstration of divine intervention, showing that victory comes through faith and obedience to God. The story of Rahab also plays a key role in this account. Rahab was a woman of Jericho who had sheltered the Israelite spies earlier in the narrative. Because of her faith and her courage, she and her family were spared when the city fell, and she later became part of the lineage of Israel, even appearing in the genealogy of Jesus in the New Testament. The fall of Jericho is more than just an ancient battle story. It is a lesson about trust, patience, and the power of God to overcome obstacles that seem insurmountable. Archaeologists have studied the ruins of Jericho for centuries, uncovering evidence of ancient walls and layers of destruction. While debates continue about the exact timing and details, the symbolism of Jericho remains powerful. The walls represent barriers in life, barriers of fear, doubt, injustice, or oppression, and the story reminds us that such walls can fall when faced with faith, perseverance, and divine help. For 20 minutes we can reflect on the layers of meaning in this story. First, the obedience of the Israelites, who followed instructions that must have seemed strange and even foolish from a human perspective. Second, the patience required to march day after day without immediate results, trusting that the promise would be fulfilled in due time. Third, the power of unity, as the entire nation moved together in silence, then lifted their voices together in one mighty shout. And finally, the mercy shown to Rahab, a reminder that faith can be found in unexpected places, and that God's plan includes redemption for those who trust in Him. The Wall of Jericho teaches us that sometimes the greatest victories are not won by force, but by faith. Sometimes the strongest walls are not made of stone, but of fear, pride, or despair, and those walls too can come tumbling down. As you picture the scene, the dust rising, the trumpets blasting, the shouts echoing, the walls crumbling, you can feel the weight of history and the timeless message of hope. Jericho's fall was the beginning of Israel's conquest of the land, but it was also the beginning of a lesson that has been told and retold for thousands of years, that no wall is too strong for God to bring down, and no obstacle is too great for faith to overcome.